Hey love, what's up? Welcome to Confidently Uncomfortable. I'm your host J.Go, health and lifestyle coach and not so regal confidence queen. Coming at you with the real, the raw, and of course, the uncomfortable. My mission is to show you that to be confident, it has absolutely nothing to do with being perfect or having it all together, and everything to do with you getting uncomfortable and pushing your limits. Thanks for joining me. Let's dive in. Welcome to part 3 of this 3-part series for the Start 2022 For You Challenge. Day 3 is reverse engineering your dreams through streams. Oh, I'm very pumped about this. I actually just finished the recording and I'm doing this intro now. So it is jam-packed with just my method that I help my clients with, as well as myself, when it comes to reverse engineering your dreams, taking those big scary goals that you're almost afraid to say out loud and breaking them down into bite-sized chunks so that you can really make them happen this year. A lot of people don't do this when it comes to goal setting. They just kind of write down a list of things that they want to do as if it's some kind of dream and a figment of like, maybe it'll happen, maybe it won't. And I want you to recognize that this can and will happen for you, but it takes you investing that time and actually, slowing down what you're doing, writing down how this is going to work for you and how you're going to set it up long term, and then doing it. So before you finish this episode, I want you to take some time, think about it, and then what is the action that you're going to do to get you one step closer to that goal, and take action today. There's a lot of power in implementing what you learn immediately instead of waiting. Don't wait, start now. All right, I'll see you in there. And we are back. Day 3 of Start 2022 For You. New Year Clear Vision Challenge. We are starting day 3 with Envision Your Path. We are going to be reverse engineering your dreams. This is something that very often we don't go this in depth when we set goals or resolutions for the new year. And that's why I'm going to challenge you to go there. Now with this, sometimes it can get super overwhelming for people. Some people fall in love with this process, this reverse engineering process I give you. Other people, they're like, oh, this is crazy. This is stressful. And so before we get started, let's just all take a breath in unison together. So breathe in. And as you exhale, say, I got this. You've got this, okay? We're not looking for perfection. I don't expect you to be a master with your mindset yet. This is just, the tip of the iceberg. We're just getting started. We're creating your path and we're setting an environment that's going to support it. So in day 1, we talked all about being grounded in your values, creating that mountain that is strong and unshakable in who you are, because ultimately, in the big scheme of things, at the end of life, at the end of the day, that's what matters. Because if you're reaching for something that doesn't align with what you want, who you are, and what makes up your core, so your values, it is going to feel meaningless. It's going to feel empty. And I talk to you all about, experience with loss, and it just brings you such a reality about the importance of your life and making the most out of it and feeling so connected to everything that you do. It might be some big, scary steps that you're taking this year, and I want you to be open to it. So a mantra that can help you as you're making these changes and setting these goals: don't get so caught up in the perfectionist and it has to look this way. Be excited about that feeling and then tell yourself this or something better. Whenever I'm setting out a goal, I set out this goal and I say a prayer to God, the universe, and I'm like, this or something better, because I know ultimately if I don't get exactly what I quote unquote pictured, something better is coming right behind it. That has happened time and time again. And so I want you to start believing that as well. In day 2, we talked about breaking up with your, negative self-talk. And often when we're getting into the goal setting, if we start to break down into the nitty-gritty of it, it can get overwhelming. And then the inner mean girl thoughts start to come up and say, hey, this is too much work, or you're going to mess this up, or you need to just quit. And you are not those thoughts. Those thoughts do not define you. So I don't want those thoughts to be what break you. Okay. So we're going to work on reverse engineering your dreams. This method is something I personally do with my goals, and I help my clients do it as well. It's really about taking those big scary goals and breaking them down into bite-sized chunks along the way. So if you have your worksheet, the download for today is actually going to be the goal setting pyramid. I'll pull that up later and show it to you if you have no idea what I'm talking about. But basically, you're going to be taking that ultimate goal, some of those things that you talked about or have written down already, and then break them down into what habits and actions and lifestyle choices are going to help support that goal, maybe some milestone goals along the way, and then what you can do day to day, what you can start doing now. So basically, my goal for each of these goals is for you to walk away with that first step, that first initial step. What can I do now? Very similar to that first step of cleaning your space. That might have been the initial habit that you needed to start doing to get closer to the goal down the road. So we're going to take some examples and kind of break down and see what that can look like. I'll go ahead and share the pyramid with you if you're watching the video with me. Hello. And if you're not, that's totally fine. So creating your goal pyramid, this is something I didn't want all your goals on one thing. You can have them on a sheet in your journal, in your workbook. If you have an idea of goals, everyone is different, but this is a good way to really see the breakdown. So you're taking whatever that ultimate goal is for you. Let's say, I'm going to take one that I'm not a runner anymore, but I've helped a lot of my clients with running. So let's just say to run a marathon. This is on your goal, it's on your bucket list, and you want to run a marathon. So if the ultimate goal is to run a marathon, your initial goals and daily habits at the bottom of the pyramid, it's not going to be wake up tomorrow and go run a marathon, right? It is going to be breaking it down into smaller bite-sized chunks to get you used to your body used to doing those things, right? It's getting the endurance. And so everything is very similar to training. I mean, y'all know I went to school for exercise and sports science. And so a lot of times I'll take those metaphors to regular life goals. So if you need to train for a marathon, again, you're not going to wake up tomorrow and go run a marathon. That is not going to help you. That's actually going to hurt you. So instead of expecting that if your goal is whatever your goal is, that tomorrow you're just going to wake up and do it, that's a misleading expectation, and that just sets you up for failure. So instead of thinking it like that, let's break it down into something that's more manageable that we can start with. So for my clients, when I set her up with, she wanted to run a marathon, guess what her middle habits were? Well, we were going to set her up for a half marathon a couple months in, and then we were going to set her up for a couple 10Ks and 5Ks to work towards and have some goals for them. So those are some tangible goals. There was a timeliness to it. We were able to actually put it on her calendar, and that was something that can help you actually reach your goals and have some other goals along the way. If you're only focusing on that end goal, so if she had only focused on that marathon, guess what? Most likely you can get in your head, you can tell yourself, oh, I'm not there yet, I'm not even close. But if you just focus on that first step in front of you, it makes it a lot easier to take that step and get closer. So that's something that's really huge. So then breaking it down, what would the daily habits be? Well, creating space for exercise. So in her daily routine, it would be, okay, what is that going to look like each day? What kind of exercise and movement am I going to do? How can I incorporate resistance training? All of that. And so basically taking that ultimate goal and breaking it down into different goals along the way. So we can do that with a lot of different things. So I'm using a marathon as just an example because I want you to grasp that I do not want you to set a goal and immediately think tomorrow you're going to wake up and it's just going to happen. Okay. We need to figure out some things along the way. If you want to be a morning person, if you're like, this is your goal, you're like, this is my year, I'm going to be a morning person. I've been a morning person, y'all. I was waking up at 4 a.m. to work at the gym, to do boot camp, and more power to you. If it's something that helps you with discipline and taking back your mornings, that's awesome. If you don't have to wake up at 5 a.m., don't do it. But if you are someone who is working a 9 to 5 and you have to be out of the house by 7, being a morning person could be beneficial to you, helping you reach your goals. So let's say that that's your goal, is that you want to take back your mornings. You want to have a morning routine. Maybe that's your goal for the new year, is like, I want to create a routine that I'm consistent with. That's the ultimate goal, right? Having that routine lifestyle that you're sticking with. Now, what are some things within that? So what are the weekly, monthly habits that you want to work towards down the road. So it's going to be that you're waking up at the same time every day. You can choose a time for it. It can be that you're maybe working out in the morning, or that you're going to sleep at night, or that you're not pressing snooze. So then what are those smaller habits along the way? So daily habits and initial goals that you want to get to. Well, if you want to be a morning person, remember, we don't want to run a marathon the next day, right? So if you're normally rolling out of bed with 15 minutes to get ready for work, let's just push that back 15 minutes, right? Let's just take, if you were normally waking up at 7 a.m. or 8 a.m., let's push it back to 6:45. Okay, let's push it back to 7:45, whatever that is for you. And if you can do that for a week, we'll push it back another 15 minutes and another and another. And you might be like, well, 15 minutes isn't really getting me anywhere. And if you treat every step that you take towards your goals like that, like, oh, that's not important, that's not nothing, you're right. It's not, because you're treating it as such. But if you celebrate that you woke up 15 minutes earlier than you have been for a really long time, guess what? Your body and your brain are going to be like, hey, this is important. This is meant to be celebrated and meant to be continued. And then you're going to add another 15 minutes the next week. And it just helps you slowly reach towards your goal until finally your body's like, wow, I'm waking up without an alarm. I'm waking up on a consistent basis. And I have had people who dreaded morning routines and waking up early, and I've completely made them into morning people. And it's so cool to see that they have done that for themselves, but they didn't do it overnight. Okay. So again, break down your goals so you can actually have some small goals to get there along the way. Now, here's the thing about the small goals. I don't want you to get consumed in thinking that you have to do everything perfectly all the time. Start with maybe one aspect of that goal, one habit each week. So if that's one habit with your big goal, your small goal, and so you take your ultimate goal, let's say you have maybe 3 big goals for the year. You can have more, but let's just take 3 because it can get a little bit overwhelming. So you're going to print out 3 of these pyramids and write your ultimate goal at the top of it. I'm using my hands. You just might not be able to tell. You're writing your ultimate goal at the top of it. And then you're having some benchmark goals along the way. So if you want to be able to do a pull-up, we're going to take another workout one because a lot of people are trying to work out right now. More power to you. That's awesome. If you want to do a pull-up, you're not going to just wake up tomorrow and just do a pull-up. We're going to have to find what are some things that can get us closer to it. Well, push-ups actually support your pull-ups. So maybe your benchmark goal is that you're going to be able to complete 10 to 20 push-ups. Maybe it's that you're going to do, it's called a dead hang, where you're just holding with your arms straight for a minute long. That's one of your benchmarks. Maybe it's that you do, there's a thing called an ab roller where it's like a little ab wheel. Those are terrible. But let's say you do those and you have a certain number of goals of that. So all of those things, you could have a minute long plank, could be another milestone. All those smaller goals are going to help your ultimate goal. If your ultimate goal is to lose weight, there's nothing wrong with it, but I want you to go back and listen to day 1 about identifying your why behind the weight loss. Because if you ask yourself that question behind the weight loss, and then you're like, actually, I just want to feel confident in my skin again, or I just want to feel connected to my body, make that the ultimate goal. And if weight loss is a byproduct, that's fine. But it honestly is probably going to be more beneficial to you if you release the attachment to that number and just focus on what you actually want, the ultimate goal. I was talking to a close friend about that because, she was trying to get back into her routine. She had gained some weight over the holidays. I haven't weighed myself, so I'm not really worried about that. But I've gotten to a point where I'm not attached to the scale. So I'm no way ever going to shame anyone who comes to me saying like, hey, I want to lose 10 pounds, or hey, I weighed myself and I'm up this month or whatever, because I've been there. But one thing I suggested to her was like, hey, there's nothing wrong with if you want to lose weight because you know that you feel better at a certain size, that's okay. But I want to challenge you to focus on consistency and not a number, because our weight is going to fluctuate. It just does. It's the way that it is. Depending on what we eat, depending on the workouts that we do, depending on how hydrated we are, our weight will fluctuate day to day, but you haven't actually lost or gained, that actual body fat in that amount of time. It just didn't happen. Okay. So if we let go that number on the scale, we're no longer attaching our worth to it. And by focusing on consistency with her, not eating out as much and, working out and feeding herself with food that nourishes her, and going to her favorite like Pilates and yoga class and, starting to strength train, all of those things are supporting her ultimate goal of just wanting to feel good in her skin. Okay. And so will weight loss be the byproduct? With her goals, the way that she's aligned and what she's working towards, probably. But at some point, she'll hit a weight like where she wants to be, and you're still going to want to do those things, right? So I don't want you to be connected to the scale, because what'll happen is you'll either hit it or miss it, and then you'll fall off. And if you are focused on long-term lifestyle change, you're not going to keep falling off like you have been again and again. And so I want you guys to practice this. So I don't want you to feel shame if you do have that as your goal, but go listen to day one of, getting grounded in what is your why, so that you can create these goals bigger than just maybe what your goals have been previously. So if you have normally said, like, if you wrote down as your ultimate goal, get healthier, let's shift that and change it to what is healthy to you. So you want to have more natural energy. You want to be able to keep up with your grandkids or your kids. You want to be able to go up the stairs without losing your breath. That could be a lower goal, not an ultimate goal. They're all working together for that ultimate goal. And then we're creating daily habits. I've talked about this pyramid a lot, so let's actually break it down. With your daily habits, I talk about this in Body Confident Blueprint, so I'm not going to go too in depth here. That's more for my clients, but what I have them do is they will audit their day like you all did on day 2, and then we'll actually look into what are your current habits, okay? What are the habits that you're doing that are getting you closer to your goal? And what are the habits that you're doing that are actually getting you farther from your goal? There's a lot of habits that maybe we've done and we didn't even realize we've been doing it. I talked about the phone being a habit. So having your phone and being caught in the scroll for hours and, getting distracted and making it to where you're not feeling good about yourself, or you're not getting the stuff done that you need to get done, or you're doing it in bed in the morning, you're scrolling instead of, getting up and going for a walk or yoga or whatever it is that you actually want to do with your morning. And so recognizing those habits first and being aware of them, don't judge them. I talked about not judging yourself and the importance of that in my podcast. If you don't listen to Confidently Uncomfortable, go do it. But release that judgment and then recognize, what do I want to put in place of this current habit? How can I shift it towards something else? And so by doing that, you're able to start implementing that change slowly. Continue to just with the awareness. If it comes up again and you don't reach the habit, like if you press snooze, be aware of it and be like, okay, what can I do to eliminate pressing snooze in the morning so I can help with that? If you're part of your daily habits is that you want to start meal prepping. A lot of people want to start meal prepping again, but they get overwhelmed. They don't know where to start. Let's take that actually as a goal pyramid, because I get a lot of people with this. So, all right, picture your pyramid. Your ultimate goal is that you want to eat more whole foods. You want to focus more on plant-based foods. Okay. That doesn't mean you're completely vegan. It just means you're focused on less processed foods. Y'all know that I'm not a all or nothing person. So I never want you to be all in a bucket unless you actually cannot, because of your nutrition, it makes you sick to have dairy or something like that. But your ultimate goal is that you want to eat more whole foods. You want to eat less processed foods. So that's the ultimate goal. By the end of the year, you want that to happen. Also, get specific on that. Like, what does less look like? Maybe it's more of like an 80-20, where 80% of your foods are coming from whole food, plant-based sources. And then 20% is more of like the processed stuff that's pretty fun to eat. So finding that, or maybe it's 90-10, whatever it is that kind of split. I usually do like a grocery cart check. So y'all, if you downloaded in day 2, my go-to grocery list, if you were to look in your cart and you were to put a percentage on it, what percentage of the stuff in your cart is whole foods and what percentage is more of processed, think more than 5 ingredients, a lot of stuff in there. And if it's more 50-50, then we want to shift that, right? If that's your goal, to focus more on whole foods. So your weekly, monthly, those medium goal habits, if you want to eat less whole foods, it would be maybe that your benchmark goals would be that you're doing weekly meal prep, that you're only eating out twice a week or once a week or 3 times a week. Everyone's goal is different. There's no right or wrong to how often we eat out. If you're currently eating out 7 days a week, guess what? If you cut it down to 4 or 5, that's a win. And then eventually you can get down. So have some of those goals that'll get you there. So if you are someone, you're like, I've been eating out 7 days a week, I don't expect you to just start meal prepping 7 days a week because that can feel very overwhelming. So let's just start with a couple days, and just try and I'm going to prep my breakfast every day, start with one meal. And then the next goal would be like, I'm going to prep my breakfast and lunches. And then you're going to shift to where you're doing, like, okay, I'm going to do a full meal prep, or I'm going to prep a couple times a week. But having some of those middle benchmark goals to celebrate, okay, well, what daily habits are going to help support those goals? So if your goal is to do weekly meal prep as a medium goal, then that daily habit needs to be, okay, well, I need to pack my lunch at night before I go to bed. That's one of my daily habits. I need to, have some snacks ready in my fridge. When I open up the fridge at eye level, I want to have my fruit and veggies pre-cut. Maybe it's that you hit your water goal. So you're hitting your water goal every day. Maybe that you're having some like a green veggie with every meal just to try and incorporate more veggies. So often when people are trying to make nutrition changes, all they're thinking about is what they need to cut out. They're just like, oh, I need to cut out sugar. I need to cut out carbs. I need to cut out this. You don't need to cut out anything. Instead, shift your mindset and think, what can I add into my diet that's going to help me feel better? That's going to help me reach my ultimate goal of eating more whole foods. If you want to eat more whole foods, guess what? Incorporate one new whole food into your diet each day or each week, whatever that is for you. So breaking it down can be really helpful, and having those small goals along the way. So that is the gist when it comes to the pyramid, the goal setting pyramid, and reverse engineering. I do want to give a caveat though with your goals is a lot of times when we're writing our goals, we write these all or nothing goals. We write, I'm going to cut out all sugar. I'm going to do this. And instead of doing that, I want you to find more of a happy medium, because we have goals. There's nothing wrong with having goals, but restriction and extremes, they're going to lead to failure and devastation. Whereas moderation and balance is going to lead to a healthy mindset. It's going to lead to longer consistency, lifelong changes, and really helping shift your mindset around healthy habits with your eating, with your activities, with everything that you're doing, with your goal setting, and not being so hard on yourself. So I think that's really important to give yourself grace through that. Stop punishing yourself. Instead of, if you quote unquote mess up when you're doing these goals, when you have your daily goals set, instead of punishing yourself, focus on, well, what did I do better today? And how can I do better tomorrow? So celebrate something that you did do right, and then identify what needs to shift going into the next day. Because if you're spending all of your time and energy in that moment focused on what you did wrong, you are totally wasting this beautiful energy, this beautiful time, this thing called life, focusing on the past. And you still have a choice to focus on what you can do next. You always have a choice to shift into what you can do next. When stuff comes up, y'all, you're going to have these goals set. And I know there's a lot of excitement in the new year, and I want to be positive and excited with you, but I also know motivation is fleeting, y'all. Motivation is fleeting. So as a coach, what I help my clients do is I set you up for long-term lifestyle change. I set you up for knowing that shit happens. Life happens, people get sick, things come up, you have to travel, something comes up for work, life gets busy. So if you're caught up in the black and white mindset, the perfectionist mindset, all or nothing, the second that this tight wound self of like, this is what my expectation is for my goals, it's tightly wound, it's not going to happen. The second that a kink gets put in there, the whole thing crumbles. I don't want that to happen to you this year. So we're going to create some flexibility. I'm doing a fun dance move if you can't see. I'm doing some flexibility this year and allow for, the ebbs and flows of what we call life. So this whole, this final aspect of the day is about, weaving into your path. It's about day 3 of reverse engineering your dreams through streams. So I'm taking the metaphor of, you're going down towards your path, towards your ultimate goal. I like to think of like, if you were to picture this entire process, think about the first part of it, setting your values. You're creating that mountain, you're creating that grounded, you're rooted, your core, like this is you are that mountain. Now you're that mountain, you're super grounded in yourself, but we want to get to that ultimate goal, which is, I like to think about like the ocean, like the open ocean. Like that's you, that's your dream, they're waiting for you right there. So you got to create an environment that supports your path to get there. So space for abundance is like your path, the way, like the environment, what's going on around you that's going to get you towards that open ocean, that dream. And then you're carving out space for abundance through that. The next aspect of this is reverse engineering your dreams through streams. Those streams are every single stream. Think of it as like one of those goals that's helping lead into another goal. So your streams might start like a trickle on the top of your mountain, and it's just like a little trickle. And guess what? Those same trickles that came from the top of the mountain, they lead into giant, crazy river rapids, right? It started from that top of the mountain, just melted ice, and then it led to giant rapids, leading to rivers, leading to lakes, leading to the ocean. So don't underestimate the small start of your goals. Those little things that a lot of times we just look over, they deserve to be celebrated. So I want you to celebrate the small wins, celebrate the little bits of your stream as you're going into the bigger parts of your dreams, the ultimate goal. We can get really caught up in the goal, the big scary goal. And I've said this before, if you get caught up in that, all you're focused on, all your energy is what you don't have yet, how far you are from your end goal, the ocean. And you're not thinking about, okay, this is the path that I'm setting on. This is what my environment looks like. This is how I'm going to create space for this. If you can stay focused on the present, on that, on the day to day, you're going to get there no matter what. You're going to get to your goal no matter what, because you've trusted in yourself and you've set a path that's going to get you there. Okay. So break up with thinking that you have to constantly be thinking about that ultimate goal. Really, we need to be thinking more about the day to day and what can I do today that's going to get me a little bit closer. Okay. Those small steps, they're what count. They really are what count. So we're nearing the end of this talk, and maybe you're still feeling a little scared to write down some of those goals because you're like, okay, well, now if I write down this big goal that I'm scared of, I have to actually think about the steps that are going to take me to get there. And so I want you to take a step away from fear and leap towards the excitement that you feel of what would actually happen in your life when you reach that goal. What is that going to feel like for you? Like, picture that. Start really thinking about that, because if you can spend your time and energy focused on the excitement and the good energy behind reaching that goal, your brain is going to have less time and energy to think about all the possibilities and worry of what could happen, may or may not happen, the scary worry, inner mean girl thoughts that can come up and hold us back. So I get it. I know that when a goal feels impossible and too intimidating, it's easy to put off getting started. Like, I know what that's like. I've had dreams, like my dream of hosting a retreat. I had that for a long time, but I kept thinking, well, no one else has done it like this before. And you can't do this. You don't have enough experience, or you're too young, or, whatever it is, you don't have a big enough influence, whatever it is that kind of comes up. And then I finally said, hold up, why not me? Like, I know that there are people out there doing what I want to do that are less qualified. I know it. I see it every day. So I stopped worrying about thinking I wasn't good enough and started just stepping into as if I already was good enough. And so if you can start doing that with your goals, you're going to stop thinking about how it's impossible and start thinking about how it is so magical and you can step into that. The formula I'm giving you guys to break it down, it's going to break down those big, scary goals and help you see the daily streams to your success. It's going to help you see the path that you need to take every single day that's going to get you one step closer. So make sure that you take time and do this. And then if you start to recognize as you're doing this, a thought comes up that's like telling you, you shouldn't write that down, or this isn't going to work, or this is too complex, stop it in its tracks and say, you know what? Not today. I'm not going to empower that thought today, because I choose to empower my biggest dreams. I choose to empower joy in the stuff that lights me up. How can you create the ultimate goal, the ultimate joy, the dreams that you have Start finding that light and joy in every single aspect of your day. Try and find a pocket of joy. Try and find something that lights you up. This is a really, really big one. I talked about celebrating the small wins. I also just want you to celebrate the moment that you're in. One of the things about goal setting that really bothers me, because I used to be guilty of this, is when you're setting a goal, you get so caught up in the end game. You get so caught up in the ocean, right? That open ocean where you want to be, that dream, that you lose sight of the present. You lose sight of all of the blessings that you have in your life right now. And you just keep thinking, oh, I don't have enough. I don't have enough. When really you might be living in a moment that you were praying for a few years ago, maybe. And if you can't find joy and gratitude in your current space, you will not find it with more money. You will not find it with less pounds. You will not find it with that significant other, because you haven't found it within yourself in your current moment. I learned that the hard way when I first was into restrictive dieting. I was trying to get smaller. I was trying to lose weight because I wanted to feel more confident in my skin, and I lost the weight and was not more confident. I was more obsessed with the number. I was getting so frustrated. I was feeling so negative. I was really mean to myself and my body, and I didn't deserve that. And so I broke up with that, and I started to think, instead of focusing on that number, I'm going to focus on empowering myself and getting stronger every single day. And so when I walked into the gym, I was focused on taking up as much space as possible. When I go through my day now, instead of thinking about only the future, which I love, y'all, I love goal setting. I want you to dream big, but I don't want you to think that you cannot find joy in your current space now. You can. There's so much beauty in being able to find gratitude in your current space. It's what you need to do to find it down the road. So take some time as you're doing this goal setting, as you're going through this. Remember a time when you wanted something in your life and you really, really wanted it, and you didn't know if you were going to get it, but then you did. You got it. You got what you wanted, but it felt almost impossible at first. There's something there. Think about it. There's something there that could be. And knowing that happened, tell yourself, hey, I can do that again. And I can do it on an even larger scale. But I'm going to first find gratitude in my current life, things that are going on. I mean, if you are sitting here listening or watching me speak through this, you're already blessed in so many ways. So find some of those blessings, find some joy in your day to day, whatever it is that brings you light. Slow down, look around, and get excited about just the small day to day amazing things. Okay. Find something that lights you up, do it every single day, and then you're going to wake up and your life is going to be your dream life. And it's an amazing, amazing place to be. It's kind of surreal because then you're starting to be like, wait, I'm living my dream life. I'm feeling present in the moment. I'm loving where I'm at, but I'm still moving forward towards my goals. And it's so awesome to be there because you're in such a better state than always feeling like you're less than, always feeling like you're so far from your goal. If you can find something to be proud of yourself every single day, it is going to help you keep going and not give up. And that is what I want for you in this year. I want you to keep going and not give up on yourself. You're human. You shouldn't put this idea of perfection on you. Instead, you should give yourself so much love and grace and excitement and focus on that as you step into these new goals, as you step into this new life. I'm all about creating visions. So if you've created a vision board before, that's awesome. We are going to do it in an exciting way. If you didn't notice, this goal setting 3-day challenge, a little different than maybe what you're used to, than maybe what you've done before. That's intentional. This is meant to be different. This is meant to be different because I don't want you to have to keep going through the motions again and again and again every single year of starting and restarting your goals. We're not doing that. We're done with that going into the new year. So leave that in the past. With the next step with this challenge, wherever you're at, I want you to dive into your vision. So you've gotten a taste of what we do in Body Confident Blueprint, my signature coaching program, BCB. And I want to help you even more with your vision. I don't want it to stop here because this can be an intimidating process, especially what we talked about in day 3. I want you to be a part of our vision board party. So what we're going to do is we are going to do a live vision board party where during the workshop, we're going to go deeper into your goals. We're going to create what I do with my vision boards, which it's pretty awesome because it's crazy. We're going to create a clear vision board for 2020, 2022. And what year is it? You're also going to get exclusive bonuses for signing up. So by signing up, it's $22 because I'm crazy and I wanted it to match with the year. It's $22 to sign up for this workshop. And if you sign up, you are going to qualify for a 20-minute call with me that you're going to get to do after you've done your vision board. And we'll get to we're going to dive into your vision board, your goal setting. And if you have any other questions through this 3-day course that you just completed, we will be doing that. And it's also going to give you exclusive bonus and pricing for the next round of Body Confident Blueprint whenever it's coming for you. If you apply and get accepted in the program, you're going to get a $300 off the acceptance enrollment fees. So lots of good things coming for you. It doesn't end here, y'all. I want you to keep going. I don't want you to get overwhelmed. And I want you to come to the party, come hang out with me. So the link should be in here under the vision board party. You should be able to sign up for the link. If you are signing up for this after the fact, so the vision board has already happened, it's past January 16th, you can still do the vision board party and get the replay. And then you can still qualify to get the call with me. The vision call with me. So you'll still get to pay essentially $22 for the recording plus the call. The call has to be within 30 days of you starting the course. So that's all the stuff that you need to know about that. Good luck with doing your goal settings, your pyramids as you create them and reverse engineer your goals. I've had a lot of fun going into this with you all because I know that it is so different and it's gonna change some people's lives. So be sure to share all of the feedback, share your biggest takeaways from this challenge. And I will see you at the party. I will see you at the vision board party. Be sure to sign up and RSVP. We might have to cap the actual live vision board party if we get too high. So make sure you get your ticket ASAP so they don't wait. You can invite your friends, even if they haven't completed the 3 days of this challenge. Even if you haven't completed all 3 days, you can still sign up for the vision board and get a lot out of it because we're going to be it's a whole different process that we're going into the workshop of that. So hopefully you can make it. Definitely sign up regardless. If you're like, I'm not sure if I can make it on the 16th, still sign up because you're going to get the recording, which is going to be packed with value. And then you're also going to get to have that 20-minute call with me. So I will see you guys there. Thank you all for being here today and see you at the party. Bye, y'all. Whew. I'm actually recording this outro after the recording day 3, and I am still on a high because I'm just so excited for you to start tapping into what brings you joy, what lights you up, so that you can start showing up as the person that you want to become in 2022 now. You don't have to wait until all your goals are accomplished to start stepping into that person. She's already within you. Literally right now, just start tapping into her. I want to help you do that. I don't want to just leave you high and dry after all of this, all of these 3-part series with the training that we've been learning, because I know it's a lot. Take your time to absorb it, but don't wait too long to sign up for my vision board party. I am hosting on January 16th a live Zoom vision board party. It's going to be a workshop where we're going deeper into your goals and creating a clear vision board for 2022. If you've done a vision board before, or maybe you kind of saw people doing vision boards, this is going to be a different approach than maybe you've ever done before, because I want you to create a vision board that sticks, one that you're actually actively working towards every single day, and not one that just feels like a figment dream that you can just, fly away anytime. You are going to make it happen. So make sure you sign up. It is $22. If you're listening to this after the fact and you're like, no, I missed out. Oh, FOMO is real, but I don't want you to be too worried. I want you to go ahead and sign up right now. Get the recording, it's $22, and you'll still qualify for a 20-minute vision board call with me. So after you've completed your vision board, you're going to get to have a call with me, and we'll talk through your goals, talk through your vision. And you're also going to have exclusive pricing because you've signed up for this vision board party for the next upcoming round of Body Confident Blueprint, BCB. You'll save money when you apply and get accepted in the program if it's a good fit for you. Very excited for this party. Cannot wait to hang with y'all. I'm really just so pumped to go through your vision board with you, to show you about this process. We're going to be doing it through a virtual aspect, but we're going to eventually create a physical vision board. There's so much power in actually creating it with your hands, having it printed out, having it ready to go. So that's the ultimate goal. And so I love seeing everyone's vision boards when they're done. I do this with my clients, but we're doing it on a larger scale. So I just cannot wait to start seeing everyone sharing the vision boards with each other. The biggest benefit is doing this live. You're surrounding yourself with a community of people that are also, striving towards bigger and better things. Community is everything. Okay. You're going to build your beach. You're going to create all that you want to in your life, and you're going to start with this vision board. So don't miss out on the live aspect of this. Be sure to sign up. Where do you sign up? Click the link in my show notes, obviously. So sign up. It's $22. And guess what? Don't be afraid to share it with a friend. Life is more fun when we share our goals with other people. It's very powerful to speak out what we want to achieve and accomplish. I have some of the girls that are actually going to be getting together during the vision board party and doing their vision board while they're on the live together. I'm very excited about that. Whether you're doing it virtually with friends or in person with friends, definitely make sure you share the link and do it together. Whether you know people or not, you're going to be able to connect with some amazing people at this call. It's January 16th, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll see you there. Thanks again for listening to Confidently Uncomfortable. I love being able to connect with you here, and honestly, don't want it to end. So head over to my Facebook group, Body Confident Blueprint, and be sure to follow me on Insta at J.Go Fit Life. Also, if you're ready to get real confidently uncomfortable, go leave this podcast a 5-star review and email me the review screenshot, support@jgofit360.com, for a chance to win a free 30-minute fitness audit and goal setting session. I appreciate your support. See you next time.